Om Gajananam Bhutaganathi Sevitam Kapita Jambu Palasara Pakshitam Umasutam Choka Vinasha Karanam Namami Vigneshwara Pada Pankajam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramaddanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Shri Matre Namaha Om Shri Annadhaya Namaha Om Shri Vasudhaya Namaha Om Shri Sachamra Ramavani Sevitaya Namaha Om Shri Katasha Kinkari Puta Kamala Koti Sevitaya Namaha Om Shri Sivasakti Aikyarupinye Namaha Om Shri Dalithambika Yai Namaha Om Shri 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 Shantananta Avatuta Sadgurave Namaha Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Nama Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva. Namaskarams to all. A very warm welcome to session 5 in the Lalitha Sahasranamam series that we have under the Vande Vidya Shankaram program of SVBF North. Hope you all enjoyed a very nice Dashara program. Let me start off with a few words about Navaratri. It's a unique festival in the worship of Devi, celebrated all over the world. In our Sanatana Dharma, we celebrate many festivals. Like starting from Makar Sankranti, you have Ramanavami, you have Gokulashtami, you have Ganesh Chaturthi, you have Shivaratri, and so on and so on. Typically, most of these festivals are one-day festival. Navaratri is the only festival that is celebrated for 9 continuous days and nights, concluding with Vijayadashami or Dasara. All 10 days. That shows the importance attached to Shakti worship in our Dharma. In other festivals, we worship just one deity in one form or Rupam. But in Navaratri, we worship Devi in 3 main Rupams: Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. You all know Durga gives us valor and courage. Durg means fort, Fort is impenetrable. Durga is undefeatable. Lakshmi for wealth and prosperity, and Saraswati for knowledge and wisdom. And during Navaratri, we offer prayers to all 3 of them. In many temples, Ambal is decorated beautifully on a Vahanam as Durga, Lakshmi, or Saraswati and taken out in a procession. Now, whether it is 3 Murtis or 330 million Murtis, there is only one Parashakti, who is all of them. Lalitha Sahasranamam mentioned this truth while describing Paradevata. Shrishtikatri Brahmarupa Goptri Govinda Rupini Samharani Rudra Rupa. She is the creator, she is the sustainer, she is the destroyer. Parashakti incarnates as Lalita, and Durga also incarnates as Mahalakshmi and Saraswati. Now somebody can ask, how is it that a single Devi is appearing in 3 different forms? Let me give you a simple analogy. You have a mother at home. She is a daughter to somebody, her parents, right? And she is wife to her husband, mother to her children, niece to her uncle. Each one looks at her differently with different name. So she assumes different roles and titles. Same person. She is Annapurni who feeds the family. She teaches her children homework and becomes Saraswati. And if she happens to be a working woman, she's also Lakshmi, as she has wealth to the family. And for each role, she may dress differently. When she goes to office, she may go in a different dress. At home, she may wear a sari. Just only one single woman, but with so many roles with different names, right? Likewise, Devi assumes different rupams and roles. And Lalitha Sahasranamam includes all of them. Now, during Navaratri, ladies are invited for Haldi Kumkum, and it is customary to sing songs in praise of Devi. In our religion, music and religion are both intertwined together. They cannot be separated. Most of our kritis are in praise of deities. Shama Shastri, the eldest of the musical trinity, musical trinity, 3 people. Shama Shastri, Muthuswami Dikshidhar, and Tyagaraj Swami. Shama Shastri was a contemporary to Muthuswami Dikshidhar. Both were in Tiruvarur. But Shama Shastri grew up in Tanjavur and he composed many. His songs have Telugu and also Sanskrit together. He's composed a beautiful song. Nanno Prabhu Lalita, Nanno Prabhu Lalita Vegame, Nanno Prabhu Lalita Vegame, Nanno Prabhu Lalita. Is set in Lalita Ragam. Oh Lalita, come fast to protect me. Nannu Prabhu Lalita Vegame. In this song, he calls Lalita as Meenakshi, Shankari, and Kalpalata. Kalpalata means a creeper, which gives you many good wishes. There's Kalpaka Vriksha, it's a Kalpaka tree. It grants all wishes, including those which are not good wishes. There is a story. A man went into the forest and he was under the Kalpaka Vriksha and he thought he was feeling very hungry. He said, I want some good food. And immediately came good food. And he ate very well. And he said, I feel like sleeping. I need a cot and a bed. Immediately came a cot and bed. He slept. Then suddenly he woke up. Oh, it's in the middle of a forest. Supposing a lion comes and kills me. And in fact, a lion came and killed him. So Kalpaka Vriksha grants all wishes. But Kalpaka Lata is a creeper. It fulfills only good wishes and discards the bad wishes. So, like Kalpalata, worshipping Devi, especially during Navaratri, protects us and grants all our well wishes. That is the beauty of this song. Now, let's get back to our Lalitha Sahasranamam. In our last session 4, we covered slokams up to 45, covering 151 namas. We learnt about how Ambal revived the life of Manmata, who was burnt to ashes by Lord Shiva. We also talked about the Sukshma Swarupam of Ambal, the philosophy behind it. And Ambal's Sukshma Swarupam made up of 3 kutas, as I told you, Vagbhava Kuta, Madhya Kuta, and Shakti Kuta. Vagbhava Kuta representing the Dhobi's lotus face, Madhyama Kuta, the portion between her neck and hip, and Shakti Kuta below the hip. The entire form of Devi is made up of three kutas. I mentioned subtle, subtler, and subtlest. All three making up the great Panchasakshari mantra. So now let us start with, I mentioned about Devi worship already, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. Here is a picture. It's a beautiful picture of Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, valor and wealth and wisdom. Let's start with the Dhyana Slokam, as usual. If you want, you can join me in saying that. Only put your audios off. Sindhuraruna Vigraham Trinenam Manikya Maudi Spurate Tara Naika Sekaram Svitamukim Api Navakshorukham Panibhyam Malipurna Ratna Sashakam Rakto Phalam Vibratim Saumyam Ratna Gadastha Rakta Charanam Jayet Paramambikam Arunam Karuna Tarangitaktim Desapasanguja Pushpabana Chapam Animad Viravritam Mayukai Rakamitve Bhavaye Bhavanim Jayet Padmasanastam Vikasavadanam Padmapadraya Dakshim Hemabam Pitabastram Karakalitalasath Hema Padmambarangim Sarva Alankara Yuktam Satatam Avayatam Bhakta Namram Bhavanim Sri Vidyam Shantamurtim Sakala Surnatam Sarva Sampat Pradatrim Sa Kunkuma Vilepana Malikuchumbi Kasturikam Samantahasitechanam Sasara Chapa Pashankusham Asesha Janamohinim Maruna Malya Bhusham Param Japa Kusuma Basuram Japa Vidos Paredambikam. Such a beautiful Dhyana Slokam. Just imagine yourself looking at Ambal and see that how beautiful she looks at. I want to show you this picture here, if you can see it. Let's start with verse 46. Now, the following verses, what I'm going to say, describe Ambal's Sukshma Swarupam, that describes Devi's hidden qualities. Most of these words are fairly simple to understand, especially if you have a knowledge of Sanskrit, and easy to follow. You will find many of them starting with ni, which really means without. Like, for example, Nishkarana. We have the first one as Nishkarana. What is Karana? It is cause, right? I'll recite the slokam and then describe the meanings. Nishkarana, Nishkalanga, Nirupadir, Nirishwara, Niraga, Raga, Madani, Nirmada, Madanashini. Nishkarana, Nishkalanga, Nirupadir, Nirishwara, Niraga, Raga, Madani, Nirmada, Madanashini. Karanam. In Tamil also we see Karanam. It is cause. Karana is cause. And as I said, ni means without. Nishkarana means without a cause. Ambal is without any cause. Because she herself is the cause of everything. She does not need a cause. So she is described as Nishkarana. Nishkalanga. Kalanga, is a fault, a blemish. Tamil also you say Kalangam. Kalangam means a blemish. But she is without any blemish, without a fault. She is pure. She is untouched by any sin. So she is described as Nishkalanga. Nirupadi. Upa means near, Adi means gives. What happened? Supposing you place a red flower near a crystal. Now the crystal will transfer the color and reflect in all directions. It is called Upadi. Nirupadi means without any limitation, without any reflection. She removes ignorance in our lives. That is the Upadi, which causes the appearance of plurality. Our consciousness becomes different. Chit becomes reflected in different directions. Devi is without Upadi, Nirupati. So she does not, she removes the Upadi in her, therefore got Nirupadi. Ignorance is removed by her. Nirishwara. Ishvara, you know, right? Ishvara is the most superior. Nirishwara means without a superior. She does not have a boss. She is not having anybody controlling her because she herself is the ruler of all. So goes Ni Raga. Raga means what? Raga means desire, attachment. So she's without Raga. Without Raga means she does not have any desire. Bhaskaraya gives one more meaning to it. Nir, she says, it's like Niru, you know. Niru means water, right? Nir is water. And Aga means mountain. Agastya got the name because he crossed the Vindhya mountain, therefore he got the name as Agastya, Aga. Water and mountain. Ambal is both water and mountain. So Bhaskaraya says it also resembles her own form of water and mountain. This is a new interpretation given by Bhaskaraya. Raga Madani. Raga means, I told you, desire. Madani means killing it or destroying it. So she is one who removes the attachments and desires from us, takes her to an elevated plane. Nirmada. Mada means, you know, pride. Nirmada means without pride. You know what happened when a true devotee of Devi recites Lalitha Sahasranamam regularly, slowly he will start suppressing his own pride. Because she's also Madanasini. She destroys your pride. So this is what all ni, which means without. The next one, which is verse 47, Nischinta nirahankara nirmoha mohanashini nirmamava matahantri nishpapa papanashini Nischinta nirahankara nirmoha mohanashini nirmama mamatahantri nitpapa papanashini. Nischinta. Chinta means thinking, you know. Chindanai, in Tamil they say, caring about something. Now, Nischinta means without any care. She is not worried about anything. She doesn't care. Chitta means recollection. Usually, we recollect all the painful topics only. Good thing go away. Anxiety. So, Bhaskaraya here says, it is said, anxiety should be known as the kind of a funeral pile called Chitta. Chitta, they say in Tamil, no? The only difference is the additional N sound in Chinta. The difference in Chitta and Chinta is the additional N sound. But as the pile, the Chitta burns the corpse, so anxiety burns the living man. Chinta burns the living man. People get worried so much. So it is also a kind of a delusion. But she is one who removes the delusion without care. Nischinta, she is without care. Ahankaram. Ahankaram. Aham means what? Myself. Ahankara means, oh, I feel great. You know, I am the one who does everything, you know. That's called ego. Nirhankara means without egoism. Ambal is not having any ahankara. You know, ahankara is of three kinds according to the three gunas, sattva, rajas, and tamas, respectively. It varies in level. But Ambal is without any ahankara, or whatever level it is. Nirmoha. What is moha? Moha is a confusion of our thinking, a distraction of mind, feeling perplexed and confused. It kind of pulls you, right? And moha causes bewilderment. Amba is without any bewilderment. She is without moha, nirmoha. Not only that, moha nashini. She destroys bewilderment by imparting the idea of unity. Bhaskaraya quotes, the Shruti, Ishopanishad. To him who perceives unity, what bewilderment and what sorrow can there be? This is a quote by Bhaskaraya from Ishopanishad. So she destroys that bewilderment. Mohanashini. Nirmama. Mama means what? Mama means mind, me. Nirmama means without me, meaning without any self-interest. Now, self-interest implies kind of separateness, that I am somebody and therefore I am interested in myself. But Ambal is without any separateness. She's without the feeling of me. She's without any self-interest. She does everything for others. Mamata Hantri. She is one who destroys the self-interest. Nishpapa. Papa, as you all know, also means sin, right? Papa is sin. It is there in Tamil and other languages also. Devi is without any sin. Not only without any sin, she is Papa Nashini, destroyer of sins. Now, how does she destroy sins? By the repetition of her mantra. By reciting Lalitha Sahasranamam, she destroys the sins of devotees. Chandogya Upanishad, Shruti, says, like the point of a reed in the fire, if you put a reed in the fire, it will get burnt up. So all the sin get burnt up. So the person who is devoted to learning and who continuously repeats mantras, even if he is always committing sinful actions, he is not afflicted thereby. What? How do you quote this? This is Vasishtha Smriti, quoted by Bhaskaraya. Sin never resides in those who repeat mantras or offer yajnam, meditate, make pilgrimages. All these, they don't affect the person who commits sins. Padma Purana also he quotes. It says the mass of sins may be as great as Mount Meru, but it is instantly destroyed by approaching Katyayani. Katyayani. Katyayani vidmahe Kanyakumari dhimhi tanno durgi prajotayat. So goes the mantra, right? So one who is devoted to Durga is not stained even by committing crimes. In the same manner as you put some water in a lotus leaf, the water remains separately. It is not affected. The lotus leaf is not affected by water. Water remains separately, the leaf remains separately. So the sins go away, but the person remains fine. So this is something great. The Devi Bhagavatam also speaks to the same effect. The Brahmanda Purana says the sinful action of all those who are devoid of varna, ashrama, even the wretched people, by mere meditation of Devi become virtuous. That is the power of Devi in mantras. It is quoted in so many Puranas, not just only in Lalitha Sahasranamam, but many others. So going further, let's say the next verse. Nishkroda Krodha Samani Nirlobha Lobha Nashini. Nissamsaya samsayagni nirbhava bhavanasini. Nishkroda krodha shamani nirlobha lobhanasini. Nissamsaya samsayagni nirbhava bhavanasini. Verse 48, Nishkroda. Krodha means anger, Nishkroda means without anger. Devi is without anger. Because she has nobody to hate, no object of hatred. The Bhagavad Gita says also, there is none hateful to me or nor dear. It comes in chapter 9, verse 29. Somebody can ask a question. How is it that Devi is without anger? If you see this picture here of Devi, you see in the top, you see how it is. Well, Kali is portrayed as ferocious Devi with bulging eyes, red tongue sticking out, armed with all kinds of weapons, and she is seen very angry. Isn't it true? But how do you say Nishkroda? It says Nishkroda because it's only a fake anger. Why fake anger? It has to create fear. If there is a police, there is a fear of punishment. So creating fear is the main thing, is a key thing. So Devi creates fear by mere looks and weapons. But it is not real anger, it's a fake anger. Inside she is very cool. When Krishna played mischief, Yashoda faked anger and tied him with a rope. That's why it's called Damodara. Ramakrishna Paramsa tells a very nice story, about a snake and some villages. There was a snake, and when villagers were passing this, they used to bite. So when a great sannyasi, a saint passing through, the villagers went to him and told him, there is a snake, please do something about it with your mantras. So the saint said, I know how to talk with the snake. He went to the snake and told the snake, don't keep biting these people, and you be a good snake, okay? And he went away. A week later, the saint came and he saw that snake was beaten up and it was bleeding. So he asked the snake, what happened? So you told me not to bite anybody and people came and bit me. Here I am, bleeding. What to do? And the saint said, look, I told you not to bite, but I didn't tell you not to hiss. At least you should create a fear by hissing. The snake can hiss. That causes a fear amongst people, so they won't come and beat the snake. So likewise, you find that Ambal, she strikes fear in the minds of evil persons. In my village of Maharajapuram, Vishnu Durga is in Saumya Rupam, ever cool. In Devi Mahatmyam, I would like to narrate this because it's very relevant. Ambal is not only very cool and humble, but displays a sense of humor to the Asuras. She says to the Duta of Shumba Nishumba, they're asking Devi to marry either of them. Sri Durga Saptasati, Panchamo Adhyayam, Devi Duta Samvadaha, Devi Vacha. Devi says, Satyamuktam Tvayanatra, Mithya Kinchat Vadotitam, Trailokya Adipati Sumbo, Nisumbaschapita Drasaha. So the Dutan who comes says, Nisumba and Chumba, great emperors. If you marry either of them, you will be a great empress. And Ambal says, Satyamuktam Tvaya. What you say is true. Trailokya Adipati Shumbo and Nisumba's Chapita Drasaha. Shumba and Nisumba are really emperors of all the three worlds. Kyum tatrayat pratignatam mitya tatriyate katam shruyatem alpa buddhitva pratignyaya krita pura. Kyum tatrayat pratignatam mitya. But what to do, my alpa buddhi, she says, Ambal says, my alpa buddhi, due to ignorance, I made a promise, Pratignya ya krita pura. I made a promise long ago due to my alpa buddhi. She's such a humility. Ambal is saying, my alpa buddhi, my ignorance. Yo mam jayati sangrame, yo me darpam vyapohati, yo me pratipado loke same patta bhavishyati. I made a promise to myself that one who wins me in the battle and is stronger than me, yo me pratipalo loke same bharta bhavishyati. He shall be my husband. So such a promise I made to myself. Tadagatat chumbotra nisambhavo mahasuraha mam jitva kim chirnetra parnim grikhnatu me lagu. Tadagatat chumbo. So you go and tell Shumbo Nisumbo, the Mahasuras, Mam Jitva Kim Chiranatra, Panim Brikhnatu Be Lagu. Very easy to marry me, take my hands. Just go and tell Nichumba and Shumba to just win me and take my hands very easily. Brikhnatu Me Lagu. Such coolness and humor without even the slightest anger. Because eventually Ambal kills both Shumba and Shumba, But she doesn't show any anger at all. That's why she's called Nishkrodha. Not only Nishkrodha, she's also Krodha Shamani, destroyer of anger. Anger is one of the 6 enemies. Apastamba says, he who sacrifices, offers oblation, or worships while he is angry, he is deprived of all benefits. Like water in a vessel of unbaked clay. If you bake a clay, then it becomes pot. If it is unbaked and you put water in it, what will happen? It will go away, right? So like that, if a person is angry and is still offering obligation when he is angry or worshipping or meditating, he doesn't get any benefit. He is deprived of all benefits. Krodha Shamani. Nirlobha. What is lobha? Miserliness, greed. She is without lobha. Ambal is exceedingly liberal. She is not miserly. And she is not only not miserly, lobha nashini. She will destroy and remove all miserliness and greed. Greed destroys all good qualities. The Tantra Raja on the characteristics of the Guru says, how should be a Guru? He is a Guru who is without doubt, the remover of doubt and expect nothing. Nothing. He must be without greed. Now after this, the characteristics of these are also 2 qualities I explained further. Nissamsaya. Samsaya is also a word used in Malayalam, which is doubt. Nissamsaya means without any doubt. She doesn't have any doubt at all. Everything very clean and clear. Samsayagni. She was one who destroys doubt also. You will be having a very clear thought of mind. Nirbhava. Bhava means origin, Nirbhava means without origin. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verse 12 says, the Supreme Brahman is without origin. Bhavanashini. Here, Bhava means samsara. She is one who destroys samsara. How does it help? Helps us not to have another birth. Our ultimate goal is mukti. Mukti means not to be reborn again in this world, into the samsara. So she is one who helps us to do that. Going further, let's see the next verse, number 49. Nirvikalpa nirabhada nirbeda bedanashini nirnasha mrityumadani nishpraya nishparigraha. Nirvikalpa, vikalpa. I'll recite this verse again. Nirvikalpa nirabhada nirbeda bedanashini nirnasha mrityumadani nishkraya nishparigraha. What is vikalpa? Vikalpa is a kind of a fancy. The Yoga Sutra says it's a notion which is conveyed by mere words, but of which there is no object corresponding to reality. One that is not real, but created in the mind. You start imagining things, false imagination. So, Devi is without false imagination because she's already in the form of unconditioned eternal knowledge. So, she doesn't have any false imagination. Nirabhada. Nirabhada. Bada means getting disturbed. But she doesn't get disturbed. She is undisturbed, calm and always peaceful. Nirbeda. Beda means, difference. She is without any difference. She treats all people same way. Whether you're a man or a woman, or a child or adult, you are a senior or junior, you are a Brahmana or whatever caste you are an American or Indian, doesn't matter. Without difference. And she is not only without difference, she also is Veda Nasini. She destroys difference. Veda means dual knowledge. But she causes distraction by promoting oneness. That is where universal brotherhood comes, Sanatana Dharma excels in that. It does not make any difference. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, we say, right? So this is destroying all differences. Black or white, whatever color you belong to, is all same for her. Nirnasha. Nasa means destruction, perishing. Nirnasa means imperishable. Mrityu Madani destroys death. It means what? Devi removes the fear of death. Bhaskaraya adds that he quotes the Tripura Upanishad, says, why it is said? Because from mortality you obtain immortality, imperishable state, the eternal existence. We go into the other world where we are immortal. So she is one who destroys death and makes us immortal. Nishkriya. Kriya means karna. In Hindi, you say karna, right? Kriya means action. Nishkriya means without action. One who has no action. Chandogya Upanishad says, only one who has nobody is unaffected by likes or dislikes. No body. She is somebody who is not affected by likes or dislikes, and therefore no action for her. So, Nishparigraha receives nothing. She does not seek help from anybody. Why? She doesn't need one. She doesn't need at all. Now, you've gone through so many of these names, starting, with ni, upasarga. There are 17 cluster of 17 namas, starting from 156 ni raga, raga madani, to nishkriya, nishparigraha, 183. Now, when you recite these with concentration and devotion, it removes the 17 doshas which are present in us. What are these 17 doshas? One is raga, attachment. 2 is mada, which is haughtiness. 3 is chinta, worrying. 4, ahankara, which is ego. 5 is moha, delusion. 6 is mamata, affection. 7 is papa, which is sin. 8 is krodha, anger. 9 is lobha, greed. 10 is samsaya, which is doubt. 11 is bhava, existence, which is cycle of births and deaths, 12 is vikalpa, which is the wavering mind we have. 13 is bada, which is transformation. And 14 is beda, which is difference with others and within oneself also. Differences within one's own mind. 15 is Nasa, which is destruction. 16 is Kriya, action. And lastly, 17, Parigraha, which is acceptance. So all these 17 doshas get removed by reciting these 17 namas. So that is the beauty of this verse 49. Let's go to the next one. Nistula Nila Chukura Nirapaya Niratyaya Durlabha Durgama Durga Dukkahantri Sukaprada Nistula Nila Chukura Nirapaya Niratyaya Durlabha Durgama Durga Dukkahantri Sukaprada. You know, Nistula, Tula, Tula Rasi, you know, what is Tula? It's a balance, right? In Hindi, you say Tolna, right? Tolna means weighing. So, Tula is really a balance. Nistula means no balance, which means incomparable. You cannot, only when you have a balance, you can compare, right? You cannot weigh otherwise. Nistula means incomparable. Neela Chikura. Neela Chikura, blue hair. Blue hair. Nirapaya, imperishable. Niratyaya. Atyaya means, transgression, kind of offense or punishment or obstruction. She is without any transgression. Durlabha, difficult to get, difficult to attain. It's not easy to attain Amba. Durgama. Gama means going, Durgama means very difficult to approach. Durgama is also the name of a Daitya whom Devi killed. So in both cases, it is appropriate, Durgama. And Durga, I mentioned it before also, that Durg means fort. In fact, in MP, you have a district called Durg and a place called Durg in India. Durg means a fort. You build a fort to protect yourself from enemies, which is making it difficult for enemies to defeat. Durga means undefeatable. Bhaskaraya says the word Durga is also explained in Devi Purana. Indra and other devas were delivered from mental and physical fear when difficulty in battle, and therefore Devi is called Durga as a deliverer. Dukkha Hantri. Dukkha means pain, Pain caused by samsara. Every day we go through pain, different problems. So she is one who destroys the pain. Dukkha Hantri. She destroys all the pain. Sukhaprada, which means when you are relieved from pain, you get happiness. Sukham means happiness, right? Sukhi Bhava says, we have blessed people, Sukhi Bhava, be happy. So she is one who confers happiness. So next verse is 51. Dushtadura durachara samani dosha varjita sarvagya santra karuna samanadika varjita. Again, Dushtadura durachara samani dosha varjita sarvagya santra karuna samanadika varjita. Dushtadura. Dushta means, bad guys, sinners. Dushtadura means she is not attainable by papis or sinners. Dura means distance. They have to be away. They cannot approach her. Durachara samani. Dura acharam. Bad customs. Putting an end to bad customs. Evil customs are contrary to our scriptures. Those of you who are familiar with Vishnu Sahasranamam, you know there is a saying, Sarva Gamanam Acharam Pratamam Parikalpate. It means before everything, Acharam or customs came first. Achara Pravavo Dharma Dharmasya Prabhurachutaha. Achara led to Dharma, and Dharma's Prabhu is Achyuta. So first came Acharam, code of conduct, customs. They came first and they led to Dharma. By the code of conduct, Dharma was formed. And Dharma's Prabhu's Achyuta. Dosha Varjita. Dosha Varjita means devoid of all doshas or faults. Dosha means hatred, bad qualities. So she is devoid of any faults and also corrects her own. Sarvajna, omniscient, which means possessing all complete knowledge. She knows everything. So Sarvajna. Sandra Karuna. Karuna itself means compassion. Sandra Karuna means intense compassion. Like how your mother will love her child. Intense love. Not ordinary, but intense. Samanadika Varjita. Samam means equal, right? Having neither samam nor adhika. Adhika means superior. A balanced kind of person who is neither equal nor superior. Samanadika Varjita. She is somebody who is neither equal nor superior. She is just on the same level. Going further, next verse, 52. Sarva Shaktimayi, Sarva Mangala Sadgati Prada, Sarveshwari, Sarvamayi, Sarva Mantra Swarupini, Sarva Shaktimayi, Sarva Mangala Sadgati Prada, Sarveshwari, Sarvamayi, Sarva Mantra Swarupini, Sarva Shaktimayi. Very easy to understand. Shakti is power. Sarva Shakti means possessing all Shaktis or powers. He is not separated from any of the Shaktis. He is aggregate of all divine powers. Sarva Mangala, source of all good fortune. She gives all the good fortune we long for in the heart, all desired good objects that we want. Then she is called Sarva Mangala. With this Sarva Mangala Namam, we complete the 200th Nama, which is the second 100. Now with the next one, we start with the third 100. 201 Slokam, which is Sadgati Prada. Sadgati Prada. Sat means good. Leading us into the right path. All stages leading us to moksha. The goal, ultimate goal. Sarveshwari, ruler of all. Because she is leading us into the right path, she is the ruler of all. Sarvamayi, she is all, everything. Sarva includes all tattvas from earth to Shiva. Sarva mantra swarupini. She is the very essence of all mantras. Mantras include 7 crores of mantras. Many mantras are arranged in either side of the Vidya, which is the Panchadasakshari. And these include 7 crores of mantras. So, this is Sarva Mantra Swarupini, means she is the very essence of all mantras. Now, this and the next 2 following names together will express the previous name of Sarvamayi. I'm going to recite 53 now. Sarva Yantratmika, Sarva Tantra Rupa Manonmani, Maheshwari Mahadevi Mahalakshmi Mridapriya, Sarva Yantratmika, Sarva Tantra Rupa Manonmani, Maheshwari Mahadevi Mahalakshmi Mridapriya. Sarva Yantratmika. She is the soul of all yantra. Yantra means a device or instrument or a machine. It's actually derived from the root word yam, which is meaning to support or to sustain the essence of an object. Yantra here refers to devices or tools of worship. the Sri Chakra, which is there, is shown in the picture here, the mystical diagram. It is a yantra. It's the most powerful yantra. It is described and it is also sung in many ways, in many beautiful songs. I want to sing 2 lines of this beautiful Kriti, which is said to be composed by Agastya Maharishi himself, in 2 languages, Sanskrit and Tamil both, because he knew both. Sri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari Shri Lalitha Sahasranamam. Shri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari Shri Lalitha Sahasranamam. Bhuvaneshwari Shri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari Shri Lalitha Sahasranamam. Bhuvaneshwari Agama Veda Kalamaya Rupini Agama Veda Kalamaya Rupini Akhila Charachara Janani Narayani Akhila Charachara Janani Narayani Naga Kankana Nataraja Manokari Naga Kankana Nataraja Manokari Jnana Vidyeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Jnana Vidyeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Shri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari Shri Lalitha Sahasranamam. Bhuvaneshwari Bhuvaneshwari Shri Chakra Raja Simhasaneshwari. She is the Simhasaneshwari of Sri Chakra Rajam. Right at the center called Bindu. It's her home. That is the Simhasanam. So that is what is described as Sarva Yantratmika. Sarva Tantra Rupa. She is the spirit of all Tantras. In Sanskrit, the word Tantra means weaving or woven together. Mantra, Yantra, and Tantra, they're all Sanskrit words, each defining an element of worship. Mantra refers to a combination of words chanted in a particular order. I mentioned the definition of mantra, mananat rayate iti mantraha, that which protects you by constant repetition in mind. That's called mantra. We believe that if you chant this mantra, the desired results you can get. For example, Gayatri Mantra, we recorded one of the most important Sanskrit mantras, consisting of 24 syllables, and chanting this can lead to immense happiness and knowledge. Yantra, I mentioned, it devices. It is used for balancing the mind and achieving peace. Typically, they are symbols or geometric figures, which have many squares, circles, triangles, and floral patterns, as you see. And the Sri Chakra is a great yantra. It can be either in 2 dimensions or 3 dimensions, like a pyramid, like Meru. We already talked about the chakras in the human body also in our last session. But Sri Chakra worship is something which is very intricate. It is complicated. It's not easy. It should be done only under initiation and guidance from a competent guru. The word Tantra literally means strategy. It comes from the root tan, to stretch, groundwork. Tantra is also associated with black magic. But followers believe that it is application of cosmic science. Atharva Veda is considered to be one of the prime scriptures related to Tantra. It refers to very powerful spiritual acts to get ourselves free from the problems. And it defines rituals and meditation. from really recurring problems. Tantra Upasana itself is highly complex and quite difficult in Kali Yuga. So sadhaka should therefore take very high precautions while practicing Tantra. But Ambal is Sarva Tantra Rupa also. Manonmani. Manonmani is a spot between the eyebrows here. It's called the Shakti of Shiva. In it, there is no subject, or that's why you put a kumkum here. In Yoga Shastra, it is the kind of mudra. By this process, the eyes neither close nor open. The breath is neither inhaled nor exhaled, and the mind is blank, neither speculating or doubting. It is all directed to the Manonmani. By concentration of your attention on the Manonmani, you increase your mental power. And Devi is Manonmani. That is why people say that you should look at the Kumkum, the spot between the eyes, very important. Maheshwari, the spouse of Maheshwara. Maheshwara is great Mahadeva, and she is the spouse of Maheshwara. Now the slokas, Mahadevi is a great Devi. It's all saying Maha. Maha means a great. The slokas 54 to 57, you will find that many of these Maha will come. Like Mahadeva, Mahalakshmi. Maha means great. The great Devi, whose body is immeasurable, body is immense, you cannot measure it, you cannot compute it. So she's called Mahadevi. Likewise, Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi is the presiding deity in Kolhapur. Those who have been to Kolhapur in Maharashtra, she is the presiding deity. You have a temple, Mahalakshmi temple in Chennai also, in Mesanagar. Mrida Priya, beloved of Mrida. Who is Mrida? Mrida is Shiva himself, meaning happiness. So she is the beloved of Mrida. Going further to the next verse, 54. Maharupa, Mahapuja, Mahapataka Nashini, Mahamaya, Mahasattva, Mahashaktir, Maharatihi. Maharupa, Mahapuja, Mahapataka Nashini, Mahamaya, Mahasattva, Mahashaktir, Maharatihi. Maharupa, Rupa means shape. Maharupa, and she is in great shape. Mahapuja, mighty object of worship. Puja is one who's worshipped. He worshipped even by Shiva and others. Devi Bhagavatam says, Devi is worshipped by Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu, Kubera, Vishwadevas, Vayu, Vasu, Varuna, Agni, Surya, Soma, the Navagrahas, and several others. So she is Mahapuja, mighty object of worship. Mahapataka Nashini. Pataka means sin, greatest sin. Like killing somebody. Mahapataka Nashini, she destroys all great sins. The highest of all sins, whether you commit knowingly or unknowingly, that sin is destroyed by the remembrance of the feet of the Supreme Shakti. Brahmanda Purana says that. Mahapataka Nashini. Mahamaya, the great illusion. Maya means illusion, right? The divine Devi, Mahamaya, she draws the minds of even the saints and leads them into confusion. The very first slokam of Durga Saptasloki, those of you who know it, it says, Yani namapi chetamsi devi bhagavati hisaha balada krishna mohaya mahamaya prayachati. Devi Bhagavati, the power of Mahamaya, pulls like a magnet, attracts even yanis towards moha, delusion. Even in The other slokam which I recited before, Shrishti Kartri Brahmarupta Goptri Govinda Rupini Samharni Ruddharuba Tirodana Karishwari Sada Shiva Anugrahata Panchakritya Parajana. There are 5 important jobs done by them. Panchakritya. In that, one of them is Tirodana. What is Tirodana? Tirodana is Mahamaya. She will pull you into that moha. That's why it says Mahamaya here. Mahasattva. Sattva means the reality or truth or existence. So the great reality. And Mahashaktir, easy to understand, the great energy. Parashakti, the super Shakti. And Maharatihi is a great delight. She is a great delight. So going to the next slokam, Mahabhoga Maheshwarya, Mahavirya, Mahabala, Mahabuddhir, Mahasiddhir, Mahayogeshwareshwari, Mahabhoga, Maheshwarya, Mahavirya, Mahabala, Mahabuddhir, Mahasiddhir, Mahayogeshwareshwari. Mahabhoga. Bhoga means what? Joy, wealth. Everything is Bhoga. The direct interpretation of the Nama means Devi is great enjoyer. But what we also understand is mere thought of Almighty Devi gives immense happiness to us devotees. We are the enjoyers. And she is enjoying what we enjoy. Mahabhoga. Maheshwarya. Maha Aishwarya. Aishwarya means prosperity. Maha Aishwarya means big, great prosperity. Bhaskaraya also gives another meaning called great sovereignty, It means great sovereignty. Mahavirya. Virya means strength, virulence. Mahavirya means great strength. Devi represents the greatest strength. She not only is strong, she makes all the devotees strong. Mahabala. Bala, Balarama, Mahabali, and so on. Balam means might. She is a great might, Mahabala. Mahabuddhi, the great intelligence. All of us are endowed with buddhi, right? How we use it, of course, it depends on each person. When the intelligence is directed towards Devi, nothing else you need to know. Because Devi has the greatest intelligence to guide us. The buddhi or intelligence always gives you the right kind of direction. But your mind is different. Mind is pulled by different desires. Like if you are a diabetic and you have tempted to eat a laddu, your mind says, oh, it doesn't matter, you can take. But buddhi says, no, you should not. Your sugar will go up, right? Buddhi tells you the truth, but mind neglects the buddhi, throws away the intelligence, discards it, and goes by the desire. That is where the problem comes. So Mahabuddhi is the great intelligence. Mahasiddhi. Siddhis, well-known superhuman powers. You call Siddhas, right? Like Anima, Mahima, Lagima, Siddhis. There are many Siddhis explained in Skanda Purana. Mahasiddhi means the greatest attainment. Mahayogeshwareshwari, the ruler of the great rulers. Another interpretation is that Devi sought by great yogis. Going further to slokam 56. Mahatantra, Mahamantra, Mahayantra, Mahasana, Mahayaga Pramaradya, Mahabhairava Pujita. Mahatantra, the great Tantra, is great because they confer many results. Mahamantra is the great mantra. Mahayantra is the great Tantra. Yantra. We have talked about the Yantra earlier, so I'm not repeating again. Mahasana is a great seat. Asana, Maha Asana. It's a great seat. where, we have 36 tattvas beginning with the earth. So it's called Maha Asana. Asana means seat. Mahayaga Kramaradhya. Worship by Mahayaga. It's worship of by 64 yoginis. Krama means arrangements. Maha Bhairava Pujita. Worship by Maha Bhairava. Who is Maha Bhairava? Is Paramashivan himself. Who is the one who is the accomplisher of creation, preservation, destruction. Ba refers to creation, Ra refers to preservation, and Va to destruction. So, Bhairava. It includes creation, maintenance, and destruction. And Maheshwara, now you're going to the next slokam, which is 57. Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini Mahakamesha Magishi Mahatripura Sundari. Witness to the great dance of Maheshwara. Maheshwara Mahakalpa Mahatandava Sakshini. Mahatandavam. Chidambaram is a place where there is a Mahatandavam. From the drum, the hand drum, small one of Maheshwara came the 14 Maheshwara Sutrani, which is a precursor for language, grammar, everything. Mahakalpa is Pralaya. The great dance was caused by the fact that self alone was remaining, and at that time there was no one in the time of Pralaya besides Ambal. So she is a witness to the Mahatandava Sakshini during the Mahakalpa. Mahakamesha Magishi, the wife of Mahakameshwara. Mahatripura Sundari, the great Tripura Sundari, which is Tripura is the three cities, which was constructed by the great Asura, architect of Mayasura. The cities of prosperity, power, and dominance. But they were destroyed with Tripurantaka, one of the Shiva's avatars, and she is therefore called Mahatripura Sundari, means beautiful lady of three cities. Going further to the slokam 58, we are coming to almost the end. We'll end at the slokam 59. Chadushchatyupacharadya, Chadushchashti Kalamayi, Mahachadushkodi, Yogini Ganasevita, Mahachadushcharadya, Chadushchashti Kalamayi, Mahachadushchashti Koti, Yogini Ganasevita. Chadushchashti Upacharadya. You have to split it. Chadushchashti is 64. Chadushchashti, 60 is Shashti, and Chatu is Shashti of the Purti, we say, right? Shashti means 60 and Chatu means 4. Chadushchashti means 64. Upacharadya. Upachar, Aradya. You have to split it. Upacharam and Aradya. Upacharams are ceremonies like you welcome, make one comfortable, and Aradya is worship. So Ambal is worshipped by 64 Upacharams. In our daily worship at home, we usually offer 16 upacharas. But in temples, they offer 64 upacharas, which means right from waking up the deity with morning music, instrumental, and nadaswaram and other stuff, followed by many upacharas like swagatam, abhishekam, alankaram, and offering puja, flowers, garlands, bangles, jewels, and offering the fanning and naivedyam and everything. These are all upacharas. So she is one who is worshipped by 64 upacharas. Chadushchashti Kalamayi. Kala means art, Again, Chadushchashti means 64. There are 64 different arts. And they're all different. It includes many, many other things. I'm not describing them. But there are 64 different arts, and she embodies all the 64 forms of fine arts. Maha Chadushchashti Kodi. Yogini Ganasevita. Mahachadushchashti Kodi means 64. Koti means crores. 64 crores of bands of yoginis. There are so many of them. Devi is worshipped by these 640 million deities. I want to tell you here is an interesting story about Bhaskar Raya. When he was living in this city of Kashi, some scholars challenged him. They got jealous and they asked him, can you recite the names of all the 64 crore yoginis? He said, okay, you copy it. So they were ready with palm leaves and, the stylus. He kept on dictating them and they got tired at the end. They found that he was such a great man. They fell at his feet and sorry, we made a mistake. We didn't realize your greatness. And Kumkumananda Swami was another enlightened saint. He warned the challengers, don't test him because I can see Devi sitting on him and reciting all the names. Such is the greatness of Bhaskar Raya. You see the picture here, Bhaskar Raya carrying the Devi. I have a YouTube video, you can see it. It is Bhaskar Raya Parichayaha, Introduction to Bhaskar Raya. Anyone can see it. You just Google it, you'll find it. Bhaskar Raya Parichayaha, an introduction to Bhaskar Raya. It shows the greatness of Bhaskar Raya. So now we are coming to the last slokam. Manu Vidya Chandra Vidya Chandra Mandala Madhyaka Charu Rupa Charu Hasa Charu Chandra Kaladara. Manu Vidya is Devi is a personification of Manu Vidya. Now Sri Vidya has got 12 different kinds depending on the devotees. Manu, Chandra, Kubera, Lopamudra, Manmada, Agastya, Agni, Surya, Indra, Skanda, Shiva, and Durvasa. They're all great devotees of Ambal, and each one has got a Vidya by their name. Manu Vidya refers to worship by Manu, while Chandra Vidya refers to worship by Chandra, with moon. So she is Manu Vidya and also Chandra Vidya. She is a personification of Chandra Vidya also. Chandra Mandala Madhyaka, she is right in the center of Chandra Mandala. The secret meaning is a moon's disk is the Sri Chakra itself. Charu Rupa. Charu means beautiful, right? She is beautiful. Devi's form is exquisite. Charu Chandra Kaladara. Wearing a beautiful crescent moon. You can see that. Like Shiva, she is also wearing a crescent moon in her crown. Charu Hasa. Hasna. In Hindi, say Hasna means laughing, right? So here she has got a beautiful smile. So she has a charming smile. Her smile is compared to the moon. Rakendu Vadana, we say. It also comes in Lalitha Sahasranamam, Rakendu Vadana. She faced like a full moon. If the Devi is worshipped on full moon night, especially if the full moon combines with Friday, in performance of Lalitha Sahasranamam Archana during the twilight Sandhya Kalam, will yield multiple results. So, with that, we are now coming to the end of session 5. Let me, as usual, conclude with prayers to Devi. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike Saranye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Om Shakti Om Shakti Om Parashakti Om Shakti Om Om Nusti Prajapi Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahim Cha O Brahmanebhyo Svamasta Nityam Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Mangalam Guru Shri Chandramaulishwar ke Shakti Ganapati Sharadambiga Shankaracharya ke Shakti Ganapati Mahaganapati Sharadambiga ke Kala Bhairava ke Kali Durgai ke Veera Dheera Shura Hanuma Maruti Charanati ke மல்லிகார்ஜுனர்க்கே செல்வ ஜனார்தனர்க்கே அம்பா பவானி கம்பத கணபதி சண்டி சாமுண்டிக்கே ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ண பகவானுக்கே ஸ்ரீ சக்கரவாசினிக்கே சீதாராம லக்ஷ்மண சகித மாருதி சரணத்திற்கே வித்யாரண்யருக்கே வித்யாசங்கரர்க்கே வாகீஸ்வரிக்கே வஜ்ரதேக கருட ஆஞ்சநேயருக்கே ஸ்ரீவள்ளி தேவசேனா சமேத சுப்பிரமணியருக்கே துங்கபத்ரைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கநிவாசினிக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே சச்சிதானந்த சிவ அபிநவ நிருசிம்ஹ பாரதிக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு சார்வபௌமருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு வித்யாதீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு பாரதி தீர்த்தருக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு விதுஷேகர பாரதிக்கே மங்களம் குரு ஸ்ரீ சந்திரமௌலீஸ்வருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி சாரதாம்பி சங்கராச்சாரியருக்கே சக்தி கணபதி மகாகணபதி சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Thank you all.
Thank you all. Thank you again. Until we meet next month. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Om Sri Matre Namaha.